Today we're talking about peptides. This is a little thing that I get to do, anything that's like new and upcoming, all the latest stuff. I have the privilege of being able to grill him at night and ask him all these questions. So now I'm just gonna do it on camera. I wrote out all my questions. So I'm gonna grill him and he's gonna teach us all about peptides.
To the best of my ability.
Okay, let's just start simple. What are they? What are peptides?
Basically think of a peptide as small protein. So you have amino acids, which are individual things, and then you have, when you string them together, then you start to form peptides, which are a certain length, I think typically between 10 to 20 amino acids in length, and then once you get over 50, then it's considered a protein. So it's essentially a small protein.
So it's not just one amino acid. It's like,
no,
it's a still series.
Correct.
So they're naturally occurring. That
They
should
are
be
naturally
good,
occurring.
right?
Can be good. Cocaine is naturally occurring too.
Our bodies do make them then?
Our body does make them, yes. Insulin is actually a type of peptide.
Okay.
CG is also a type of peptide.
I had no idea.
Yep.
Why would somebody need to take them? I mean, insulin, that's obvious. We know about that. That's been around for a long time. But
Right. So they create a certain reaction. Basically, think of a peptide as a signal. It's not necessarily doing something, it's triggering something to happen.
Okay, so how long have they been around?
Well, they've been around for a long time in some form or another, such as insulin has been around for a really long time. CG, similar thing, but the newer peptides, not super long.
Okay, how do you take them?
Typically, well, one of two ways. Most of the way that people kind of associate now, it's injection. There are also oral peptides as well.
Okay, we're gonna get a little bit more in detail here then. That's just the basics. Seems like everybody's talking about the BPC 157. What is that and why is this one such a big deal?
BP 157 is more of like a healing peptide. So a lot of musculoskeletal stuff, but that's going to be a little bit more injection. I think part of the reason why it's very popular is that is one that you can actually do orally that does tend to appear to be like fairly effective. It's also a really good one for gut healing. So part of the problem with a lot of oral peptides, or potential problem, is because it's a string of amino acids, essentially a protein, where your digestion breaks down proteins. So there's the thought of, well, is it just breaking down those peptides back down into amino acids? So it's not going to be as effective as an injection, but it's also going to be a whole lot safer than an injection.
What do people take it for?
Healing, typically.
Healing?
Yeah.
It's not one of those ones that make you like all cut and good looking and...
Well, no.
Okay. What about NAD? NAD plus? Is it NAD plus?
That's not really a peptide.
Okay.
It's kind of different things.
What is that then?
NAD is a little bit more for like mitochondrial function. It is like a longevity supplement. Okay. But it's not a peptide.
So that's not for this conversation?
No.
Okay. So this is a question in here. Ozempic, I know how to say, but the semaglutide?
Semaglutide.
Are those peptides? You hear, I've heard mixed. Peptides. But are they natural?
Manjaro.
Are they natural? And
I don't know if they're not exactly natural. I mean, they're man-made. They may occur in our bodies naturally. They're usually in a different form, like even though testosterone, it's not exactly the same as our bodies.
Okay, so you do hear a lot of side effects and symptoms from those.
You do.
So peptides aren't all good.
No, too much of a good thing can be bad, and when you're giving your body something that is supposed to be making on its own, it always brings up the question of at what cost? Like steroid injections, okay, it's naturally occurring, but when you're giving your body an external source of it, it shuts off its own production. And so something they're kind of finding now, in addition to other potential problems with these GLP-1s and everything, is what kind of rebound do you get afterwards? When you stop taking it, because is it shutting off your own natural peptides? And then, right, the cravings come back way stronger than what they were before, and okay, you lose 50 pounds and you stop it and then you gain 75.
So let's back up. You said GLP-1 and we're asking about peptides. I hear those terms thrown around a lot. Is GLP-1 a peptide? Is there a difference? But can you explain that for me?
So I don't know the full difference, but as far as I'm aware, yes, it's a peptide.
It's a peptide.
They're all just...
What are some of the most common reasons that patients come to you wanting or questioning peptides? You have a lot that come to you?
A decent amount. I think the number one reason that people come wanting peptides is honestly they see it as an easy fix. That's it. That's I think why most people go to a lot of medications to begin with. They're not willing, or they're just not willing to put in the work and do it the way that you should do it.
So that gets into some of my later questions. Might table that for a minute there. But our son is asking about peptides for the gym. So they're peptides specifically for the gym. I thought the BPC 157 was for the gym.
Well, it's because it's for healing. So anytime,
Okay, so muscle repair.
yeah, anytime you're
Got it.
working out, you're tearing down muscle and then your body rebuilds it better. Well, if you can do something that is promoting better or faster healing, then theoretically you can tear it down more or more often and recover.
How do you know that it's not going to, like, okay, it's promoting muscle growth. How do you know it's not going to go too far?
You don't.
So it can be tumorigenic. Is that the right word? Did I say that right?
Yeah, it can be. Honestly, we just don't know. My opinion is this is a very new thing, and it does appear there's a lot of potential positives. We don't know the negatives, and this happens all the time with all kinds of medications. It looks great, and then in 5 years, we're going to be seeing all the lawyer and attorney commercials, and did you take Ozempic or Mounjaro? We'll fight for you, and get you $1 billion settlement.
Yeah.
We just don't know.
I mean, you hear all the time, though, there's tons of research out there. They're just not in our country.
Well, there is, yeah, and there's tons of research on the positive, and that's kind of with like most things. Like you always hear the positives. You don't ever hear the negatives unless you like are researching and looking that out. Like my review on the ASEA supplement was ridiculous. It was just salt water, and people are paying $40 for 8 glasses of salt water. Like, come on, people. It's just like, you have to take everything with a grain of salt, and you have to do your research, and you have to...
What about human versus animal studies in the peptide world?
What about it?
Do you know much about that? Is there, like, the research that has been around a long time, what was reading that, yes, there's long-term studies, but they're in animals. The human studies are very limited.
Yeah, I don't know too much on that part of it. I mean, animal studies always come before human studies. So, I mean, it has to transition. There's always going to be some carryover, and there's going to be some certain things that don't carry over. Like,
right,
to a
but that's
certain
what I'm
degree,
saying is I was reading that there's a ton of animal studies, and that's when they talk about there's tons of studies going back decades, so only on animals, not on humans.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the way that it progresses.
So I was reading something, I don't know how true this is, but that some of the long-term research that goes back decades is only on animals, not on humans.
That's the natural progression of how studies go. It always starts off in animals and mice and, maybe chimpanzees or apes or whatever, and then it progresses to us.
Do they generally find a difference between animals and humans?
I don't know on that. I don't know if they generally find a difference. I think there's, like, to certain things, like physiology is physiology. Like, there's going to be a lot of carryover, but there is difference in physiology, obviously, as well. So I don't fully know the answer to that.
Okay. So here's getting a little bit more personal. I've been thinking about this. If it stimulates growth, and peptides are stimulating the growth, the muscle growth, tissue repair, cell regeneration, how do we know everything is growing? It's growing something that you want to grow. Well, that's cancer and tumor cells. So going back to the tumors, is that a real concern? Has there been anything that so far where researchers want to look at that?
I don't know if researchers want to look at it. I mean, maybe they do. I think it's going to be one of these things that we kind of find after the fact, because most studies, I don't know, say most studies, many studies are looking at the benefits, right? They're expecting a certain outcome from a study, and so that's mostly what they're looking for. And then it's kind of like, by default, like, oh, these other things happened. These are the side effects.
That's really scary to me. So, like, thinking back to the COVID vaccine, people were so cautious about it because the studies were so new and they looked into it, but it wasn't something that was making their body prettier, better. And so now this is...
Certain people were cautious about it.
Yes, not everybody. But the people that were cautious about the COVID shot, it seems like these same people are like, I have this great thing that's natural that's going to make my life so much easier to get fit again. And I feel like people are thinking about getting fit and not the health behind it. So for me, that's hard to understand. Like, we're putting something in our body, but like you said, at what cost? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a time and place, and I kind of feel like a lot of different things may be pushed by money. There's a, like, hormone clinics,
replacement therapy. I was thinking the same thing.
Even, and not that there's not a time and place, but hormone replacement, IV therapy, peptides.
It can help, but it's not for everybody.
Well, and they're big money makers.
Yeah, so they want to market it to everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about somebody that's had cancer in the past? Are peptides off the table for them?
You have to weigh your pros and cons. It kind of depends on what is happening and what are you using it for. It's an individual answer. One of my podcasts I like to listen to a lot is the Sean Ryan show. And he had a person on that's very big into peptide or very knowledgeable about peptides. And one of her biggest concerns is cancer. And she knows a lot about peptides, and she's the one that's one of the ones that's bringing up this question. Yeah. And when you take it orally versus injecting, if you're bypassing your what's called first pass metabolism, which is basically the protective mechanism of your gut and your liver and all that stuff. It has to go through all of that before it gets in your blood. If you're injecting it, you're bypassing first pass. It's not until it goes like around again, then it finally goes through your liver and gets rid of what you don't need, I guess.
I mean, at first glance, it seems like, oh, these are so great, but really, like, there's so much we have to think about.
There is. And too much of a good thing can be bad, and especially when there's a lot of unknowns.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So here's my more personal question. What if someone has a genetic mutation, like a specific gene variant that affects how their cells grow and respond to signals? Does a peptide interact differently than what's expected?
100%.
Also, any ideas?
We just don't know. There's so many unknowns.
Yeah.
If there's something that's triggering growth and you're injecting it here in your elbow, okay, maybe it's good for your tendon, but who's to say? I mean, it's going to go everywhere.
Your heart, your organ, your lungs, your liver, everything.
It's just a matter of, I wouldn't say, is there a side effect? It's a matter of, well, what is the side effect?
Mm-hmm. And you're speeding up growth.
Potentially, depending on the peptide.
Yeah, it could be a good thing, but could be a really bad thing for some people.
Yeah, so you have to weigh your pros and your cons.
Okay, so peptides online, Amazon, random supplement shops. Is this the same thing that you'd be using clinically?
And Amazon does have a lot of fraud, even if it looks like whatever reputable company that you think you're getting. There's people that are making fake ones.
Yeah, it's just a distributor company. So somebody could buy, say, Imogen or Designs for Health, a good supplement. They could buy them at a discounted rate or get old expired ones, replace whatever's in the bottle, and go resell them.
Well, and I have heard a lot of companies that, they pretty much like recreate the label. They throw a cheap, basically a filler in the supplement. They throw the label on. It looks like you're getting the same thing, but there's nothing in it.
Yeah, Amazon's not good for supplements.
You get what you pay for.
How do you know that what you're getting is real? Is there quality control behind all of these peptides? Because this is like huge right now.
I'm sure there's some sort of quality control. I think really the best way is trying to do your research the best you can, but relying on somebody that you trust that has already done it. Like for the stuff that we use, we've done a lot of trial and error over the years of supplement works. The supplement works better or worse. So then we say, okay, let's go with the better one. And then we begin and again, and it changes based off of what we're doing and trying and lab results.
Well, and the nature of our practice is so different too. We're not using injectables. We're not using medications. We're using simple supplements, herbs, and vitamins, and lifestyle stuff.
Right.
So this is stuff that doesn't have these
negative side effects,
possibly huge changes to our body.
Right.
It's more about
not that we don't recommend them on occasion.
Right.
But you have to weigh the pros and the cons.
Yeah. I personally think I've heard different kinds of doctors have different things to say about them. Like I know a cardiologist that says, I won't give them to any of my patients.
Yeah.
But I think that goes back to the growth. How are we affecting that heart muscle? Because when you're doing it, you're not just doing it for everything.
Just for anything.
Yeah.
I think it's the unknown is really.
Yeah. And that's what he said. There wasn't enough research on humans to really know if it's going to have a negative effect. Like it might look good in the beginning. Are there peptides that you would flat out not recommend, or the risks just aren't worth it? Certain ones.
I can't say specifically. I don't know the names of all the different ones.
But so does it just because it depends on the individual? Generally, your answer to me is always it depends. And that's where you drive me nuts.
I mean, I'd say in general,
so,
what about it?
Is that one not a supplement that you would not recommend? Like you would actually.
You just had two double negatives in there.
Would you recommend Ozempic?
I would not recommend Ozempic.
Okay, so there is one that you would not recommend across the board.
Yeah, well, it does depend.
I pulled the depend out of you.
Yeah.
It depends.
I mean, in general, it's not the best way to go. I will say sometimes, for certain people, a shortcut can be helpful, I suppose, but not generally.
Okay, so someone comes into your office, they want to explore peptides. What does this look like to you?
Doing anything and everything that you can before that and see if it fixes it or improves it. If it does not, then you revisit and weigh the pros and cons.
We go hand in hand with that. As we get older, our bodies are going to change. They're not going to be like in our 20s. If there's something out there that's telling you you're going to be like you were in your 20s, or you can eat whatever you want and you're going to look like you were in your 20s, you can't. It's just, that's not the way things work. You have to do the hard work to actually, you might be looking like that, but you're not going to go back to healthy unless you change things.
And if something's that easy, I can guarantee you there's a side effect that you're just not seeing right away.
Yeah. Okay, so if you do decide to take them, how long does it take to notice changes?
That I don't know. That'd be more of a question for like somebody that uses it on a regular basis. Yeah, but I've heard 4 to 6 treatments.
Okay, so can you think of any type of person that should not use them?
It depends on the peptide and depends on the person.
What do you mean depends on the person?
What their goal is, what their problem is, what have they done so far?
It has past history, anything in somebody's body that would say, no, or you should rethink this.
I think everybody should rethink it. It's just a matter of if you get to the point where you are rethinking it again, then is it worth it at that point? Yeah. Don't do it as your first thing that you do, because
I feel like there's so many things out there that we don't know why some people react and others don't. Like our daughter had a severe reaction to gadolinium, but you don't know. We don't know all of our DNA. And so for me, that, I don't know, I tend to side more on like, don't do it.
Oh, for sure.
I'm the negative Nelly on this kind of stuff.
I mean, for certain things, the research does look like it's compelling, right? Like, oh, you have...
Yeah. It is. I would love to take some peptides and go back to when it was easy to work out. I could see my arms get better and cut. I can lose the belly. Like, you know, like how I was in my 20s. It was so easy. And then energy, there's some for energy. There's like all kind. I would love the easy quick fix, but there's no...
I'm not willing to potentially pay some price I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of like making the deal with the devil. Is like, you know, I'll give you all this stuff, and then when I want what I want, I'll let you know what it is. I'm not going to tell you right now.
Yeah. And I don't know. There's something to be said about doing things the easy way and the hard way. So much more rewarding, better for you. Okay, so we don't do them here, but do you know the cost?
Do not know the cost.
Okay. Last question. If you had to summarize who peptide therapy is actually right for and who it is not, what would you say?
Peptides are for the person that has already done anything and everything else that they can. And the risks or the benefits still outweigh the risks. Don't risk long-term health for immediate possible gain right now.
Yeah. What you do in your 20s shows up in your 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
Big time.
Like even for me, like when I was, you know, in my 30s, I was lifting like super, super heavy weights, or as heavy weights as I could, because I want to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, now, like my shoulder hurts, my elbow hurts. I would tell my younger self, don't do heavy weights. Just keep it lighter, go easy in your joints. You'll feel better when you're older.
Yeah. In the grand scheme of things, what is the point of looking amazing? There's so much more to life, and that's my 2 cents.
Well, feeling good and feeling healthy is way more like,
Feeling good and feeling healthy, that's key though. That is way more important than looking.
I would say being.
Yes.
Not necessarily feeling, because there can be a difference.
Usually if you feel healthy without all these mysteries, like
I know, but the person that has cancer and doesn't know it until 2 weeks before they die. Yeah,
but there's going to be symptoms. You're going to be
not always
tired or something. All those symptoms that people ignore, bloating after you eat, like just random. You know, they're like feeling good all the time. Yeah. You're not tired. You have energy to just do stuff. Like your stomach doesn't hurt when you eat. I can't think of all those symptoms. You don't have night sweats. Like there's a lot of symptoms that people think are normal.
There is.
But feeling good and being healthy is so much more important than having whatever society thinks right now is the body that looks good. Because that changes over the decades too.
It does. Yeah.
Like I'm 47, I don't have to have a 6-pack. Hopefully my husband still loves me. But yeah, I just think that why is it so important to look so perfect?
You don't have to look perfect. It's more about function. Like if you function well.
Yeah, and peptides.
It's like the guy that's, you know, got huge muscles and he can't scratch his back because his muscles are too big.
That'd be uncomfortable.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of there at one point, and like still have a back scratcher in my office because I couldn't reach some spots on my back.
Yeah. So they're just from this conversation, I feel like there are some major concerns for me.
Yeah, there had been from the beginning, and I had a lot of concerns about it. I wanted to be on the bandwagon because it sounded good. Yeah. But I always had a lot of concerns, and then really kind of in the last month, now there's more like these podcasts of like, well, wait a second.
So, okay, let's go back to if somebody is going to do them. As you're talking, I'm thinking of more questions. Would you say injectable or oral?
Depends on what it's for. If you can, use the oral first. Maybe it helps. And it's going to be less likely to cause side effects. Try that first. If it doesn't work, and then you got to go to the injectable.
Alrighty. Okay. So you don't know your genetics to know if it's going to affect you. You don't know that there's no research to see who it can give side effects to or not. And there's not really research on cancer. That's just a real concern. They've had red flags. Right?
Yeah, there's been a lot, yeah. And if you already have, like, because your immune system is always like constantly fighting off cancer cells. So what if you have something that's there and your body is kind of like in that equilibrium or balance point? Mm-hmm. Right? And like you'd be able to be fine like this, but then you just give something just a little bit extra to the cancer now, and then it kind of takes off.
So I think you just hit on something that a lot of people don't realize. I don't think that's common knowledge that
what?
Your body, there's always free radicals in your body is always fighting off cancer. Mm-hmm. So maybe you should expand on that. I don't think people realize that.
Well, this is getting pretty long.
It is, but we can just have another.
We have antioxidants and free radicals, and they're competing. So,
always.
So free radicals do damage. Antioxidants basically kill free radicals so that they don't do damage. Free radicals changes your cellular structures, and we're always having defective defective cells are made wrong or reproduced wrong, or they go bad or whatever. So there's always new cancer cells in your body, and your immune system is always killing those so it doesn't turn into cancer and get out of hand. So that's equilibrium, balance. And ideally, your immune system is stronger than your cancer cells, so you kind of have this margin in between those of safety. And basically, cancer will develop is that kind of starts flattening out, and then you kind of get the opposite, and this is where cancer happens. So we want a really big gap. Right? If you're already here and then you do this, okay, now you just
like adding
set
peptides, you're doing this, and we don't know if we're here or here.
And there's certain labs and tests and nutrient levels and stuff that we can look at that kind of give us an idea of where we're at, but not totally.
So everybody's immune system is created to be able to fight off cancer. It's when things are out of whack, is what I'm understanding.
Correct.
And your immune system isn't working well, that those cancer cells could build up, and then we could just do something to set it over the edge where our body can't fight it.
Correct.
Not just with peptides, but other things.
Yes.
Right? Very
Toxins,
interesting to me.
Environmental stress.
See? I get to ask all these questions on a regular basis. Thank you.